listening to Dear Future Sam, a space for honest conversations about building a life and business that actually works for you and your brain. This episode is part of my series, If She Can, So Can I, where I chat with incredible everyday women about how they're building freedom-based businesses, rewriting the rules, creating income, flexibility and alignment on their own terms. I'm Sam, I'm your host, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. I am really excited to be joined by Christy, who got her business up and running back in January and has already brought such a thoughtful energy to the way that she is building it. She's based over on the Isle of Man and works as a hormone health and nutrition coach, which is a space that I genuinely find so fascinating. I love how passionate she is about helping women to understand their bodies and feel more empowered in their well-being. And I'm really looking forward to hearing more about how that's shaping her approach to this business as well. We had the chance to meet in person at our business retreat in May, which was so lovely. And while we didn't get to chat in depth, I remember thinking how warm and grounded Christy felt and how much I'd like to get to know her better. And so I'm excited to do that today. Also, as a fellow curly girl, I have to mention her gorgeous curly hair, because there's not that many of us around. Christy, thank you so much for being here. I'm really looking forward to diving into this conversation. How are you? Let's start there.
I am good. Well, first of all, thank you for that introduction. That was lovely. But yeah, I am all good. Really, really good.
Good. That's perfect. So let's just dive in and we'll start with you. So who are you and what was life like before you started this business?
Yeah, so I'm Christy, as you said, a hormone and nutrition health coach. And I started this business in January. And before that, I had started my journey into hormone and nutrition coaching the January before. So I'd only really been doing it for a year. And it was quite a hard journey, really, because before that, I had no idea what I was doing. I knew that's what I wanted to do. And after like a few years of like being too scared to go for it and do it, I eventually did. But it came with a lot of ups and downs, really, because I'd never really used social media before. So yeah, it was quite a tough year trying to learn all these things of how to be a coach, how to put my services out there. And actually, at the time of this business coming into my life, I didn't know I was actually looking for anything else. But at the time, I think I was quite lonely because it was just me. And I've got two children, they're 13 and 15, and I was a stay-at-home mum. And for all that time, I did have a temporary job in a school. But they're just growing older now and they don't need me anymore. They don't rely on me. And I find that really, really hard. So I kind of felt like I've lost my purpose. And yeah, I just kind of felt a bit lost, really.
Yeah, it's something that I think me and so many people can resonate with, even with mine being small,
Yeah.
even from tiny babies to where they are now when they're at school and in childcare. I'm a bit lost at that
Yeah.
point of being kind of like, oh, what do I do
Yeah.
with this time?
Yeah.
It is really then connecting back into you a bit and thinking, oh, okay, so who was I before the motherhood stuff? I don't really fit that shell anymore. Okay, so where
Yeah.
do I go from here? And yeah, I think it's a story that a lot of people have, and
Yeah.
a lot of people think that they have to shoehorn themselves back into that 9 to 5 traditional system, which we know as mums doesn't fit motherhood, whether they're
Absolutely not.
little or whether they're big. It
No,
doesn't
it
fit
doesn't.
at all. So, what made you take the leap? Was there a specific moment, or was it just a feeling when you came across the opportunity of this might be something for me?
Do you know what? It was just the feeling. Like I said, I didn't actually know I was looking for anything else. My business had started to pick up and I was getting clients and I was getting more and more. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then I met Lauren, my mentor, and it was a bit of a weird connection because we'd connected on Instagram. I don't even think we'd messaged each other initially. It was just she followed me, I followed her. And she realised then later on down the line that I lived on the Isle of Man, as does she. So she'd message me and she's like, "Oh, we should meet up." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, meet up." And we just became friends and it was great. And she'd never actually spoke about the business. So it was literally only because I watched her masterclass. She'd put it on her stories. I was like, "Oh, watch this, see what that's about." And I don't know, straight away, I was just like, I want this. So it was around Christmas time. And I was like, right, I'm going in, I'll sign up to the Discovery platform. And I just, straight away, I could just see it. I was like, this is there was something missing in my life, but I didn't know what. And then I followed the Discovery platform and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, I need to do it. I need to do it. And
Amazing.
yeah, it's the best decision I ever made. To say it was so unexpected and not that I was looking for anything, and it's absolutely changed my life.
That's amazing. I love that so much.
Yeah,
I know that you said before that you found the journey you were on with your first business quite a lonely one.
yeah,
Did you find the community aspect of this has had a big difference in the kind of feeling of building this business compared to your first one?
massively, massively. I think that that community and that support, I mean, it makes such a huge difference. Like I said before, I'm not very good with technology at all. So last year, trying to build a website, like it took me about 3 months. It was awful trying to do social media. I've never liked pictures of myself, never liked videos of myself. I would not have done this a year ago. Absolutely not. And it was, yeah, it was lonely because I didn't have any help. I didn't know where to go other than the internet of like, help me, how do I do this? I really struggled. Whereas this business has give them sort of, I've had them hurdles with like creating ads and certain things with technology, but there's so much support there that I'm never alone. There's always that support, whether it's through the group chats or the calls we have or my accountability buddy or, my mentor, the support is always there. So you never feel alone, you never feel stuck because there's just so much help and support.
It's brilliant. I always say that I didn't join this business for the community. I didn't join it to make friends. It's just been the
Yeah,
most incredible benefit.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
an add-on that I just was not expecting at all.
yeah,
Um, there's no way I would have been able, I don't think personally, to build a business without the support because on the
yeah,
bad days, you've got people there to either be your shoulder to cry on, someone
yeah,
to vent to, or someone to pick you up and
yeah,
push you on. And then on the good days, you've just got the biggest bunch of cheerleaders, and it's
exactly.
incredible.
Yeah. And you don't get that anywhere else, do you? You think of any other workplace, nobody is cheering you on, nobody's telling you what a good job you're doing, nobody is there to support you. You're on your own, following the rules, doing what you're told to do, and there's never, it's always criticism, it's never support, whereas this is completely different. There's just support all around us, like you said, everybody's cheering everybody on.
Yeah, and there's not that competitive undertone.
Yeah,
I remember
no,
from being in that 9 to 5 environment or the traditional kind of environments, and it always being, oh, there's this one job and there's five of us that could get it. And even though you might feel very close to the person sitting next to you, there's always this thing of, oh, like I'm competing against them for this. And it just is so disjointed. Like we're
yeah,
all worthy and deserving
yeah,
and we all provide our own kind of things to our job, and
yeah,
yet someone will get picked out and they'll get paid more to do the job and whatever, and there's always this like, oh, whereas in our community and the business model we work with and just entrepreneurship in general, I have never met another entrepreneur who wasn't cheering you on
yeah,
and really kind of all
yeah,
for your success. It's always like I'm absolutely like cheering you on all the way because they want you to succeed.
yeah,
We all want each other to succeed. That's part of the journey that we're on. And we're all there to support one another. And actually, the best way I found to learn is to teach. So
yeah,
if I
yeah,
learn something, I can't wait to share my what I've learned with everyone else because
yeah,
it just helps me to learn even
yeah.
more. So
It's true, isn't it? And that them sort of hurdles that you face. Like I had like issues with ads and stuff, and it was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. actually, I sorted it out with the help of other people. And now I know I can help somebody else if they're in the same situation. So you kind of learn the lessons along the way that you can then help other people with.
Definitely. That's amazing. So I'd love to hear a little bit about your journey so far. Have you felt any personal shifts? It sounds very much like you have, or any unexpected lessons, or even just some favorite parts since you joined the business.
Yeah, well, I think I said it before, like this has genuinely changed my life. Like, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Um, so I've had like my own personal growth journey, I would say over like 4 years now. I have not grown as much in them 4 years as I have in these last 4 to 5 months. Like the growth journey since starting the business is it's incredible. Like I am, yeah, I'm just like a new person. The confidence. And I think, I've spent so many years with so many limiting beliefs and telling myself I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, I can't do it, I'm not clever enough. And that comes back from being a child with experiences in school and teachers, even like my first job and friends. And I've just carried that on for so many years. But this business has changed that. Like, I think that retreat as well in May really like flipped a switch. And it was like, we're all the same. Like, we all have these limiting beliefs. We're all there for the same reason. We don't need to carry that on anymore. So, like, yeah, I feel like now's my time to kind of put that behind me and actually realize I can do it. I can be successful. I can do all these things and I can put that behind me. And I feel like since coming back from that retreat, I've completely changed.
It's incredible that I've always said I wish I could bottle up the feeling of in-person events because you
Yeah.
can't even explain it.
No, no,
You
you
know?
can't.
There's no words. It's just there's something about being around others who are on the same journey as you, who have the same, not even, we don't all have the same motivations. We're all
No.
from all different walks of life.
Yeah.
We just all have that drive within us to find something more and to
Yeah.
kind of, without sounding kind of gushy and cheesy, but to really step into that power that we actually deserve and hold our
Yeah.
space where we deserve to hold it. Because, like you said, it's so easy to be squished down and fall back into those limiting beliefs as like I'm not enough, I'm not
Yeah.
good enough, I'm not clever enough, I'm never going to be anything more. And actually, that is just beliefs, and all
Yeah.
beliefs are things that we've told ourselves so many times that they've
Yeah.
become our truth, but they're not true.
No.
So it's incredible. And just being around other people that are doing it too, because
Yeah.
I always find I come home and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about these people. I
Yeah.
want to be back with those people.
Yeah.
You can feel the vibe change. You can
You
feel the
can.
people who are having to go to their jobs every single day. I feel it on the school
Yeah.
run. I'm surrounded by people huffing and complaining at like half
Yeah.
past 8 in the morning about having to go to work and who's picking up the kids because they're going to be at their work still. And that vibe is just so like, oh, and we're in this vibe now of like, actually, we're growing and
Yeah.
changing and we're taking control. And being around that at events is life changing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is. So yeah, that we're gonna have to find a way to somehow bottle it
Yeah.
up and share it around
Yeah.
because it's amazing.
Is and I think as well, like like you said before, they're all there for we're all there for the same reason, but we've all got our different stories as to why we're there and why we want more for ourselves. And I think as well, so many of us care about our health and care about looking after ourselves self. And I don't get that in my household. Everybody, when I talk about health or I talk about the water machine or I talk about wanting to do all these things that are going to optimize my health or my children's health, they all roll their eyes at me. It's like, oh, she's off again. What's she talking about now? And it's like they just don't get it. So again, that's like another reason being surrounded by everybody. Oh, being surrounded by everybody, it's like we're all just the same, we're all so like-minded. It's a breath of fresh air being surrounded by that community.
I agree. I agree 100%. It's oh, hold on a second. Do you want to go with Daddy? Daddy's gonna go pick Zach up.
He's going to get Zach,
I'm
darling.
gonna go get Zach from his disco.
Get Zach from Pops's. Pops is going to go and get.
Pops has got him. Go get him from Pops's house. It's okay. It's okay. Mummy will be here when you get back. You're only going to get him.
Oh. He ran away from me.
Hmm? Maybe Daddy could give you something to coax you away.
Do you want a sweetie?
Yeah, go on.
You get a sweetie if you come with me. No, you don't just get a sweetie and get to come back. That's what it's for, Mummy.
Yeah, I know. Go quickly now. I have two very, very mummy's boys.
Oh, that's the best
Very
one.
much so. Yeah, and I have a part-time job for a charity. I do their like IT, social media, and marketing. And
Yeah.
yesterday we had a massive event, but it meant that I was at work from like 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. I didn't get back till about 11 at night. And
Oh,
it was like I walked in the house, I literally got into bed, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, mommy's home." And he was awake and he was stirring. It was like, oh, because he still feeds, so he's very much like
yeah,
a magnet.
yeah,
Which is nice, and I wouldn't change it, but also
yeah.
sometimes I'm a bit like space. A bit much.
Enjoy it while you can,
I know.
because when they're older and you're sat in the house on your own, you have to find other things to do.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's the thing. I have said that to myself quite a few times recently that it feels sometimes like it's getting a bit much, still feeding
Yeah,
and things like that. And then I think actually, in a couple of years' time, the likelihood is he's not going to be doing that. He's going to be
yeah,
at school. I'm not going to have that anymore, and I'm going to
yeah,
miss it. So I'm just going to make the most of it
yeah.
while
Definitely make the most of it.
definitely. I don't want them to make a noise. They're standing outside the door. Uh,
Um,
but anyway, no, I'm going to go back. So I 100% agree because I talk about things in, I try and talk about things, whether it's to my husband or my mum or my sister, or just generally if I'm having a chit chat with like a mum at toddlers or something, and
yeah,
I'm talking about my health or how I've been trying to look into like my hormones and trying to work with my cycle and do all things like this, and you can see them kind of looking at you like, what? Like,
yeah,
what are you on about? And I've also been looking into trying to eat more like organically and things like that. And
yeah,
again, it's like even just people see the difference in price and they're like, oh, that's just a sales like tactic
yeah,
thing. And I'm like, it's not. And the
yeah,
difference you can make in your life by making those small changes is huge, but people are just not open to it because they've been fed so much of the stories that they want us
yeah,
to hear, I guess,
yeah,
that they're just not even open to learning about it, which is sad because the
yeah.
benefits
It
are
is.
huge
Yeah, it
for
is.
health and for so many other things, not just your physical health either, but your mental health.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It has. Yeah. What you eat has a massive impact on your mental health.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize that. I mean, I obviously I'm autistic and ADHD,
Yeah.
and I know that there is so much actual research. I mean, there's not enough research, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of research being done about the connection with like your diet and ADHD and the
Yeah.
impacts and how you could technically you could manage your ADHD with food and things like that
Yeah.
rather than with medication. But there's not enough research into it. And actually, the loudest voices in the media are people saying that things like processed food and sugar causes ADHD, which is the wrong wording because it doesn't cause, it may aggravate, but it doesn't cause. Uh,
Yeah.
but there's all these types of things, and people do need to know about them. They're not crazy
Yeah.
people with
Definitely.
tin hats talking about it. It's
Yeah.
actual, real, factual, scientifically proven stuff
Yeah.
that so many more people need to be talking about. And it's another reason why I love being part of this community because I finally feel like I can have these conversations with people and they're not looking at me with a puzzled look. They're kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, 100%. And I
Yeah.
think,
Exactly.
I have found my people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, which is absolutely amazing. And you obviously have Lauren as your mentor
Yeah.
who talks through and through, which is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
You found that this business, or do you think this business and the way that this business allows you to structure the way that you work and things supports the lifestyle of your kind of the hormonal and the nutrition coaching kind
Yeah.
of stuff?
It works perfectly together. It works so well together. I don't like this is my full time, this online business and the hormone coaching business, and I just feel like they work so well together. Um, so yeah, I manage it. I manage it really well. Just my days of planning clients' plans and researching women's health, and between this business and doing things for that, I am obsessed with this business. I love it. So yeah, I find it just works really well together, and because I'm very like, a hormone coach and that's what I do. I don't believe that we're made to work a 9 to 5 job. We're not made to push through. We're not, our bodies aren't the same every day. And, we're made to turn up to an office and behave the same every single day. And that's not how our bodies work. We have to work with our cycle and we have to optimize that. The corporate world does not allow for that. We're supposed to just turn up like men do. They have 24-hour cycles. We have roughly 28-day cycles, but we're supposed to work like them and just work hard and push through. And it's really frustrating. I could go on about that forever. But yeah, this is why I think this business is good, because it gives women that opportunity to realize there is another way. You don't have to be stuck in that 9 to 5 office, just pushing through, reaching burnout. That there is another way that you can work, earn an income, and work around your body and its needs.
I love that. I when I heard about the fact that, because I didn't actually know that men had like a 24-hour cycle
Yeah,
compared to our
yeah,
28-day cycle. And
yeah,
when I first heard that, it blew my mind, because I was like, the system, the corporate world is made by men for men, and
yeah,
that's never been
100%.
changed. And not only that, the last 10, 20 years, the way that women are treated has changed. So it's like we are supposed to have it all. So they
Yeah,
want us to still, obviously men can't make the babies and do the growing and that bit, but they want us to still be mothers and go through that. But then they're rushing us back into work, and
yeah,
you're pulled from both sides. And actually,
but-
we're not made to do that at all.
no,
And it's crazy. And you've got voices saying you need to get back into work as soon as possible after you've had a baby,
yeah,
when your hormones are even all over the
yeah,
place. And you add in things like breastfeeding and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, you've got the other side saying, oh no, you need to stay at home, you need to be with your baby all the time. And it's a bit like, oh,
yeah, yeah,
okay, where do I go? What do I do? And it's mixed messages. It's confusing in an
yeah,
already very confusing time for your body, physically, mentally,
definitely.
everything else. And it's amazing that there is a space
Yeah,
with a lot of women like yourself who are saying, actually, there's a reason why you're finding that quite hard, and it's not
yeah,
anything to do with you or your worth or
yeah,
anything like that. It's your body and the way that we're built. And it really upsets me that hormone health specifically isn't covered in school. You
yeah,
get
oh, yeah, massively.
Yeah, you get a half an hour conversation about the fact that you will have periods for 1 week a month.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's
Yeah, and that literally that is all you're told. Then you go to a doctor and they're not trained in it either. So they're there to hand you prescriptions and medications and just go on the pill and everything will be fine because it fixes everything. And then, like you said, we have periods. We've got to work with our cycles. We go through pregnancy, postpartum, perimenopause, menopause, like all these transitions as women that we have to go through, but we're not educated on any of it, none of it. So we don't know what's happening to our bodies, and we think, why have we reached burnout? Why do we feel lost? What is wrong with us? And you blame yourself for so many things, but actually, it's just because we weren't educated on it. It's our bodies doing its thing, but we don't know about it because we haven't had that information and that education. And then on top of that, we're supposed to be everything to everybody and then go and work a 9 to 5 job on top of it. And it's just not how we work or
no.
how we should work.
Yeah, not at all. And that, to me, this was something that came to light massively for me after joining this business. I really struggled when I became a mum, and I am late diagnosed as autistic and ADHD, so there was that aspect
Yeah,
as well that I didn't know how to manage and support. But the hormone side hit me like a truck. I
Yeah.
was all over the place, and I was up and down, and I was diagnosed with postnatal depression. I'm not actually sure it was ever postnatal depression. I
Yeah.
think it was just a mix of everything and not being able to use coping strategies I was
Yeah.
before and all that kind of thing. But I joined this business, and all of a sudden my eyes were open to all of this. And my life now, just like you've said, is so different in so many incredibly positive ways because I'm now able to look at my cycle and kind of know that probably in this week I'm going to be quite creative, and therefore I can prioritize this type of work in this
Yeah.
week. And maybe this week I'm going to struggle a bit more with things. So let's try and automate as much as I can there
Yeah.
and do my basics, because obviously we can't just not do anything. That's not how life
Um,
works. I wish it was, but it's not.
yeah.
So you can prioritize and you can structure
Yeah.
you really can structure to how your body works, and it changes everything.
Yeah.
Like the way
Definitely.
that I show up for my business, for my family, for myself has changed so much because I'm now aware of this.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very early on in my journey of it, but it has opened my eyes massively to what is possible for women if they do work with their cycle and if they learn to support the way our bodies are made and supposed to work.
Yeah.
We're unstoppable, which I think is
Yeah. Definitely.
probably why it's not talked about.
Probably is. Yeah. Yeah. They don't want us to be
Take over.
unstoppable, powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know that you have said this business has changed your life. I would love to know how it is supporting your life or changing your confidence or boosting your confidence, and how it is helping you get towards your big goals.
Yeah. So like I said, my confidence has, I'm doing things and putting myself forward for things that I just wouldn't have done a year ago. And like, when you put a message about doing this, I was like, oh, that feels uncomfortable. So let's say yes. Like, and that's just with a lot of these things, I'm like, right, it's uncomfortable. So I'm going to do it. Like I'm hosting a call in Lauren's team next month about work, what we've just said, like working with your cycle and how we can support ourselves during them different phases. And there's just so many things that I just would not have done if it wasn't for this business. I think when I was just doing my hormone coaching business last year and I was on my own, I still had them beliefs. And I don't think I'd have ever got out of them, to be honest with you. But I know there's so much support in this community and everybody's just got like great energy and there's just so much, Lauren as well helps to push me and like, oh, get uncomfortable and do the things that make you uncomfortable. And I'm just putting myself out there to do all of these things that I absolutely would not have done a few months ago.
It's fantastic. And it's so important because change is uncomfortable, growth is
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and it's what stops so many people from
Yeah.
taking that step. And it is sometimes I just feel like shaking people and be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're uncomfortable,
Yeah.
like, if you get uncomfortable and you grow, like just think, I look back at me 2 years ago and I just think, oh my goodness, if I could see me now, I don't think I'd be able to believe how far I have come and the
Yeah.
life that I'm living now because of the changes I've made. And they've not been easy. They have been uncomfortable
Yeah.
changes. And there's been a lot of times where, like, past me and my nervous system has been going, come back.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's scary. Because it's scared. And
Yeah.
that's what the nervous system's there for, is to keep you
Yeah.
safe. And I'm growing and I'm changing and it doesn't like that so much. But then I
Yeah.
get to that next level and I go, oh, it's all right up here, actually. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And then you face the next thing.
Definitely.
But it holds so many people back. And it's just something I'm really passionate about is saying and trying to get people to realize that being uncomfortable is not a bad thing all the
No.
time.
No.
And if you have something that you want to try or something that you want to change in your life, being uncomfortable is worth it, because
Definitely.
being uncomfortable
100%.
lasts only a little bit
Yeah.
once you get there. So that's amazing. And then I guess my final question is that if you we're talking to someone who's listening right now and they are stuck in fear or self-doubt, or they're just not sure whether this kind of opportunity could work for them, what would you want them to know? What would you say to them from where you are now, a few months into your business?
I would say that to not let that fear take over, because this literally does change your life. And it might, we have that fear. Like I said, with my hormone nutrition coach, I wanted to do that for 2-3 years and I stopped myself from doing it because I was scared, because I didn't think I'd know what to do, because why would anybody listen to me? And I regret waiting that long to do it. You've just got to say yes and take the leap. There's so much support in this community. It's not, even the personal development side of things. I think there's so much for personal development. I just think, yeah, just got to go for it. Just take that leap, because there's nothing worse than wanting to do something and not doing it and looking back in the future going, I wish I'd have give that a go. I wish I'd have done that back then. And, where could you be in 6 months' time? Where could you be in a year's time by taking the leap and taking that chance on yourself? It's a far better place to be than to stay stuck where you are.
Absolutely, massively. I cannot echo that enough. Somebody said to me near the start of my journey, they said, time will still pass.
Yeah,
So you could either take the leap and see where you could be in those 6 months to a year's time, or you could do nothing.
yeah,
How does that feel?
yeah. And that's so much scarier, isn't it? When you really think about, okay, if I just don't do it and I stay where I am, then it's comfortable. But it's comfortable for how long? It's only short term. It's like
Yeah.
that short term pain for long term gain. I would choose that every single time.
Absolutely. And I think for a lot of people, they are lying to themselves is maybe a bit too strong, but I think if people actually sat and had a think of, am I actually where I want to be?
Yeah,
A lot of people would probably be quite shocked when
yeah,
they actually face that question. And again, it's uncomfortable, so a lot of people don't.
yeah,
But we are only here once. We only get
yeah,
one chance at this, and I know I would much rather be growing and changing and learning and
yeah.
trying something
Mhm.
different than spending every day going into a job that I don't like, forcing my body to do things it's not
Yeah,
made to do. And
exactly.
yeah, just being 67 before I can actually enjoy my life.
Yeah. Because the reality is, not many people
Mm-mm.
enjoy their life, enjoy their jobs. Like most people don't. I am obsessed with this. Like I genuinely am obsessed. I love it. I wake up every single day excited for what I'm going to do. What am I going to work on the online business? Is what personal development, maybe what calls am I going to watch? What am I doing? I genuinely get so excited for it every day.
I love that. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, for sharing your story. I know that it's going to inspire a lot of people, and I also know that it's going to be very helpful for a lot of people to hear.
Really?
Plus, you just absolutely radiate your excitement and your positive energy. It's coming through the screen. So thank you for that. That's amazing. But yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate you sharing all of that with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Dear Future Sam. I hope this conversation gave you a little spark of what's possible, and a reminder that you are never too much, you are never too late, and you are never alone. If this resonated, I'd love for you to share it, tag me, or send it to someone who needs to hear it. And if you're curious about this business model and what it could look like for you, my inbox is always open. I'll pop a link in the show notes with more information too. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. You're doing better than you think. Speak soon.